Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In the more recent Wano arc of One Piece, Luffy finally managed to awaken the power of his devil fruit, and thus potentially reaching nearly the full power of the sun god Nika. And as already demonstrated in his appearances, Nika, or rather the Joy Boy predecessor to Luffy, had two weapons in which they could be extremely powerful and which still exist within the world of One Piece. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the possibility that Luffy, at some point in this final saga, will manage to find these two extremely powerful ancestral weapons and use them just like his predecessor Joy Boy did. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like and even subscribe and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it continues to motivate us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, as we know, Nika is the legendary figure revered as the sun god by people who have had their freedom taken away since ancient times, and it holds a deep meaning within the world of One Piece. The legend of Nika, who was a great benevolent warrior and liberator, implies that Joy Boy, the one who formerly possessed the Hito no Mi model Nika, was the personification of this mythological being. Now, so far we only know two Joy Boys have ever existed. The one who existed 800 years ago during the Void Century, who carried a spear and unknown swords as his main combat weapons, and of course, our very own Monkey D. Luffy. As Luffy continues to deepen his relationship with his own devil fruit, and he strengthens his connections to the legendary figure, this could make him somehow acquire that same determination and motivations as the former Joy Boy did. This situation might then motivate Luffy to go after those two weapons that Joy Boy carried to further strengthen himself during battle. He could be guided by clues and artifacts found on his journey, and Luffy might then seek out Nika's weapons. These powerful weapons that are possibly hidden in locations of great significance, connected to both Nika and Joy Boy's history. After passing tests or challenges that reflect Nika's ideals and deeds, Luffy would obtain the legendary weapons, and through intensive self-taught training, he would then learn to master these weapons, unlocking new combat techniques that align with Nika's legendary prowess in battle. So as Luffy further progresses towards his final journey to become the Pirate King, he may find himself following in the footsteps of Joy Boy, who in turn was that personification of the legendary figure Nika. By obtaining and then mastering these powerful weapons, Luffy would then fully assume Joy Boy's legacy, becoming the hero that the legends has always prophesized. And as Luffy progresses through the saga, his mastery of Nika's weapons would then intensify. He might then unlock ancient secrets and create new techniques that combine the abilities of the Hito no Mi model Nika with the properties of these legendary weapons. So this tactical and strategic enhancement puts him in a unique position to tackle any further challenge. And it may in fact take these weapons that Luffy could use as extension of his will and strength, because Luffy is bound to face the biggest challenges of his life. And these aren't just going to be physical fights, but a battle for the future, for freedom, and for justice for the entire world. Future victories of Luffy's throughout these battles will be a turning point in the history of the One Piece world, where the oppression that's endured for so long will be challenged and finally overcome, bringing smiles and hope to every corner of the world. And by fulfilling the role of Nika, Luffy will not only become the Pirate King, but also the symbol of change and triumph over adversity. In fact, as we go towards the end of our saga, Nika's weapons might even be considered a part of the legacy that was left by Joy Boy to Luffy. They might even be carefully laid to rest or even passed down to future generations, where they become a physical symbol of the epic history and values that were upheld, even after so many centuries. Now, to be honest, the connection between Nika, Luffy, and Joy Boy makes One Piece's story an even greater mystery, because Nika was revered as the sun god by slaves over the centuries, and they played a central role in One Piece's stories. And those who have possessed the power of the Hito no Mi model Nika are believed to become Joy Boy, which is a title that holds great significance for that universe, but especially now that the current bearer of that title is Luffy, the protagonist of our One Piece story. Of course, the Joy Boy of 800 years ago had great relevance to that universe, being a mythical figure in which he was able to change the world. However, he could not complete his main objective for some reason that is still yet to be revealed. As we've journeyed with Luffy throughout the series, it almost seems that he's taken a parallel path, becoming the new wielder of the Hito no Mi, model Nika, and his journey and skills have further intertwined with Nika's legendary attributes. Now, the revelation that his awakened form resembles that very Nika description reflects the continuity of this connection and also hints that Luffy is destined to fulfill Nika's role in this final saga. So as Luffy has gone through his journey in quest to become the Pirate King, he's not only inherited the powers of the Hito no Mi, model Nika, but also Nika's heritage as protector and savior of the downtrodden. Luffy's goals always still align with Nika's ideals, even if he doesn't know it, because he's promised to free and enslave and bring smiles to the faces of everyone he meets. And this mission resonates with Luffy's own goal of bringing people freedom and happiness. This means that as Luffy progresses on his journey, he becomes the modern personification of that legendary hero Nika, that new incarnation of the original Joy Boy. And not only does Luffy represent Joy Boy's willingness to defy convention and the system, he also carries the essence of Nika himself. So if these weapons do exist, and Luffy's journey does end up leading him to acquire Nika's weapons, this would represent a completion of the cycle, because by obtaining these powerful weapons, he has truly become that hero that Joy Boy was, where he's able to fight for justice, freedom, and happiness. And the training and mastery of those weapons would further symbolize Luffy's commitment to honoring Nika's legacy. As many of us in the fandom know, the final battle of this saga is gonna be the culmination of this journey. So using Nika's weapons and his own abilities, Luffy is gonna face a challenge that transcends the physical and will represent a fight against the oppression and the quest for redemption of the entire world. So again, as I said earlier, his victory isn't just gonna be a personal achievement, but rather a triumph over unjust principles that have endured for these many centuries. Furthermore, this intertwined fate between Nika, Joy Boy, and Luffy is truly a crucial and central part of One Piece's final saga. So by exploring this connection, the narrative gains further depth and meaning, and thus culminates in Luffy becoming that modern hero designed and destined to fulfill the legacy of Nika and Joy Boy. And not only does this cement the importance of the Nika fruit, it also reinforces Luffy's role as the catalyst for change and redemption within the world of One Piece. The union of these three important One Piece figures offers a narrative rich in meaning and symbolism, because by exploring the legend of Nika, the connection to Joy Boy, and Luffy's journey, a story emerges that transcends time and weaves itself into an epic saga of justice, freedom, and redemption for the world. From the very beginning of her story, Luffy's journey has always been a quest for freedom and the fulfillment of a dream, and the discovery that Joy Boy of 800 years ago was also linked to this legendary figure Nika sheds a light on the profound connection between the past and the present. Upon awakening the Hito no Mi model Nika and inheriting his powers, Luffy has now become the modern-day embodiment of that legendary hero, and thus he's taking it upon himself to honor Nika's legacy and carrying then that great determination and power in his hands. So perhaps the only thing that may be left for Luffy to do is to obtain the weapons that Joy Boy carried in the past, and Luffy's quest to obtain them thus symbolizes his commitment to taking on the role of Nika, the defender of the oppressed and liberator of the enslaved. Through further training, mastery, and even combining his own skills with these legendary weapons, Luffy could then prepare for that final battle that transcends not just physics and just the nature of the world, but the ideals of justice and redemption. So the culmination of One Piece's final saga represents that fulfillment of all these prophecies and the end of a cycle that is echoed throughout the centuries. And Luffy's victory over a final challenge not only secures his position as the true Pirate King, but also cements his role as the hero that finally fulfilled Nika's promise, where he brings smiles to people's faces and frees them from the chains of oppression. In this grand finale, if they do exist, Nika's weapons are not just a symbol of power, but relics that link the past with the present. It further connects the journeys of Nika, Joy Boy, and Luffy, and with this journey complete, Luffy becomes the rightful guardian of Nika's heritage, the one who will continue to bring light where there once was shadow. In fact, One Piece's final saga, which is filled with meaning and evolution, as it comes to an end with the story of Nika and Joy Boy finding their ultimate incarnation in Luffy, the journey to find Nika's weapons is not just a quest for power, but a testament to Luffy's dedication to honoring the past and further shaping the future. So with all that said, my friends, we'd now love to know what you think about it. First of all, do you think that these legendary weapons that we saw in the shadow of Nika do exist? And could there be a call or a pull that Luffy gets from his devil fruit, or perhaps from some poneglyph or information that Robin uncovers to go seek out those weapons? I mean, a lot of us in the community, even here on the channel have wondered and speculated about that very large straw hat that lives in that frozen vault in Marijois. Could there be more treasures and weapons that are there waiting for Luffy to come get them? And could those be the true key to defeating the sinister Imu-sama and all those other threats that we know loom over the horizon? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video for the day, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Be sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all in our next video. Let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.